Did the mainstream media and politicians unfairly smear the Unite the Kingdom rally? In this video, Trevor Phillips shares his first-hand account from Sky News, uncovering what really happened at the event. Plus, we explore the leadership principles of truth and freedom and discuss their critical importance in restoring Great Britain. Before we get into the details, if you love diving into political issues and enjoy hearing a principled take on them, then hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to join the conversation. It will help our channel reach a wider audience.
This was a rally of more than 100,000 people, of the sort of person that you'd meet in a country pub if you'd gone for a walk. Or if you're going to the theatre, you might line up next to while you're waiting for the loo or a drink at half time. This was, if you like, the quiet middle Britain. And the significance of that is, for those people to come out in these numbers, first of all, I think is a surprise to conventional politics. It certainly surprised Tommy Robinson, by the way. I don't think they had any idea these kinds of numbers. But more importantly than that, and this is perhaps why you've seen what you've seen with Danny Kruger today, it has given a signal to people on the centre right that the firewall that essentially puts people on this part of the populist right beyond the pale has collapsed.
Right. Well, it's interesting because you were talking about sort of normal people. I think you used that phrase, rallying to the call of Tommy Robinson. But it's not that, obviously. So how does this then play into our politics? How does it play into political parties? How do the political parties respond?
Well, I think that when I say normal people, what I mean is the range of kinds of people that you would meet anywhere. I mean, the thing that struck me when I was out there on Saturday, I was out there for a lot of the afternoon and certainly a lot of the evening because I was walking home from the studio here to go home in the evening. And as I was walking through Parliament Square and Whitehall, a lot of people stopped. They wanted to have a chat. And the thing that struck me was that they weren't that different from the kind of people you'd meet coming home from football on a Saturday afternoon. Now, why does that matter for politics? What it means is that the fact that we're now seeing the Labour and Tory combined vote at its lowest ever, I mean below 40% together, tells us that there is a whole swathe of the country that's had enough of what they would call conventional politics, and they're looking for alternatives. I think the other point here is that people like us are constantly quizzing politicians and saying, what's your solutions, what's your policy, and so on and so forth. This group of people who are out on that march and the people who are like them, their families and so on, don't care about that. What they care about is, do you understand the kinds of things that bother me? And the great example, and why this has had such heat, was the asylum hotels. And several people have given me this example. In the small communities where these asylum hotels are situated, historically, these places tended to be the places where someone would have their parents' golden wedding anniversary, or they would go for their child's 21st birthday, or they would have some other kind of gathering, and it was a community thing. What's now happened is these places have now been taken out of use. They've been commandeered for a very different kind of usage. And not only are they now, if you go to some of the places on the seafronts, not only are they sort of ugly and a little bit threatening, and there are lots of men standing around outside them, but they are also, in a way, trashing the memories that many people have of these happy events in these places. So politics has got to find a way of responding not just to the logic and the kind of questions that you or I might ask politicians. It's got to find a way of responding to that emotional feeling that something has changed in a way that people do not like.
Without truth, there is no freedom. This fundamental principle drives my belief that some leaders seek to control and manipulate people, treating them as pawns without facing repercussions. They thrive on distorting reality, feeding us half-truths, labeling truth as misinformation or disinformation, and dodging our questions entirely. Tragically, some leaders are so entangled in lies that they begin to believe them as truth. They become puppets, enslaved to those who pull their strings, reciting scripted words with no voice of their own. If they aren't free, how can they lead their people to freedom? They can't, and they won't, until they embrace the truth that sets them free. Freedom empowers you to make your own choices, to discern right from wrong, and to accept the consequences of your decisions. As a leader, if you allow lies to manipulate you, your thoughts shape your actions, and those actions impact your people. You become what you think. Change is possible, but only if you're willing to transform your thinking. You can't continue doing wrong, then flip a switch when people demand accountability. True change starts deep within, in your subconscious mind, where you must believe that only truth can set you free. Only then can you lead your people toward freedom and help restore a Great Britain grounded in these principles. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments so we can keep this conversation going. If you have benefited in any way from this video, please subscribe, like, share, and be sure to leave us a comment.